Now then, let's get started, shall we? Welcome, students! My name is Osmo Bergamo, and I am Dean of Conjuration here at the Vemay Teldt Royal Academy of the Metaphysical Arts. Well, I say here, but in reality, you aren't here at Vemay Teldt with me, are you? You are watching this from Knight Gardenia's garden. Oh, we already have a casting of legend lore. Thank you for that, Ninja Cat Muffin. I believe the good knight has... I see a lot of familiar names, and I'm looking forward to getting to meet all of you. Yes, hello, Lilith Bellamira. I see reversed cards, cross-planar cleric. I saw Aoi and even a fellow Conjuration professor. I am honored to have you here in my classroom. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to pull out your notes and take a seat wherever you like. As I was saying, there is a channel point redeem. Speaking of, our common cohort, Knight Gardenia, was kind enough to let me transmute all of your swords into sigils for this class. Rest assured that they will be retransmuted into swords after this class is done. Professor Bergamont, I would not say that your school's divination professor put me up to this, but I did take advantage of his research in that, as you may have surmised, this stream is made possible thanks to the use of the Clairsperience ritual that allows you all to come to my dimension in order to have this class with me. I'm very grateful that Knight Gardenia told me about such a thing, and since she did, I see you are all getting familiar with my familiar. He is a bit shy, so he needs to be summoned, but he's quite loud once he is. I am pleased that there is so much excited about my class. To once again attempt to finish my thought, apologies, this is the first class I am ever teaching. There is that channel point redeem to ask questions, but this course will start with an introduction that will likely answer many of your questions, before you have to spend any of your sigils on them. Oh, interesting. Is the orb not working? It was in testing, so... Where is my hat? You know, that is actually covered in the PowerPoint. To force me to keep streaming until 4. Well, I suppose that can be arranged, Wildflowers. I am pleased that you've already become so skilled in Conjuration. Well, of course there's a PowerPoint. This is a VTuber debut, and Knight Gardenia told me that they often start with PowerPoints. Shall we perhaps go over there? This is a introductory course to Conjuration. A sort of a syllabus class, if you will. Once again, my name is Osmo Bergamo. I am Dean of Conjuration here at Vemay Teldt Royal Academy of the Metaphysical Arts. So, to start with our topics of today, I'm going to tell you about me, the school I work at, our subject matter, of course, being Conjuration, and our mutual colleague, Knight Gardenia. Now, Knight Gardenia is not able to attend this class because she works during this time of day, but speaking about how the two of us met will also tie into how I came able to host this class for all of you all. I am sure that you will be taking copious notes, Professor Bergamont, and I hope that I teach your matter of specialization to your satisfaction. Apologies if there are any nerves. Like I said, I am a quite new member of the faculty here at Vemay Teldt, so I may be a bit nervous. After the PowerPoint, there will be time for questions before our first 5-minute break. During that time, of course, you will be free to get up, stretch, grab a drink of water, take any medications if you need to do that. I see you are also all enjoying the emotes. I was quite pleased that we were able to get those in so short notice. What is going on right now? Well, Miss Bellamira, what is going on is the very beginning of class, so feel free to take out your notes and take a seat wherever you like. You are allowed to do those things before the break, but I know some people get... Knight Gardenia has told me that there are some very enthusiastic students, so you may forget. I do not have a hat. You know, actually, let us get to that in a second. After our 5-minute break, there will be a bit of practical application of magic. Conjuration somewhat, but I'm also aware that, I'm not sure why my familiar would have to be a dog. I will tell you about my familiar on the next slide. But I'm aware that many students here are quite fond of transmutation, specifically of polymorph. I thought it best that when I am first introducing myself to a new set of students, I maintain this form throughout that introduction, but rest assured, there will be polymorphing later in the class. And then after another break, there will be some closing remarks before we, in all likelihood, raid to Wildflowers the Bunny, who has cast the teleportation circle. No, well, perhaps. Excellent. So, about me. I am a human wizard and a lifelong fan of planar travel. We will get more into how that came to be throughout future slides, but my work, even before starting to teach here at Vemay Teldt, has included frequent trips to and from the Feywild. I will get to why the image is there in a moment. As I said, I am a very recently joined faculty here at the Academy. I've only been working here at Vemay Teldt for about half a year now, but before then I was doing plenty of my own independent research as well as quite a bit of adventuring, and before that I worked for the Crown for a year. And then, of course, you will have... Oh, hello, Mecca! Thank you for joining class. All raiders, we have only just begun our introduction to Conjuration. Please feel free to take out your notes and pull out a seat wherever you like. So, before we address the image on screen... Oh, Professor Bergamont, it doesn't appear you're a moderator. That is somewhat surprising. Anywho, if you would like to ask me any questions after class, such as any that only come to you afterwards or were not reached through some mistake on my part, you may contact me over at Osmo Bergamo on Tumblr. I'm aware that many people are fond of using Twitter or X, but hello. I personally cannot tolerate the accursed bird app, and so I do not have one. You will unfortunately have to... Yes, it does. Why would I lie about such a thing? It has been there for several months, you will see from the timestamps on my posts. So I will tell you about my familiar, but first, several people have asked about a hat. Yes, it is. Not that anyone calls it that. So, Knight Gardenia mentioned a bit about how the two of us met on her birthday stream on Friday. But the two of us met a bit short of 7 months ago now. It was very late September 2023. And, well, I will be getting a bit ahead of myself to tell the whole story, but she was practicing her own conjuration lessons, and instead of visiting another plane in her own dimension, or her own universe, she found her way into mine, and was stuck there for some weeks. You may have noticed, if you follow the Knight's activities, that there were a few times in the past half year where she was unavailable for streaming for a week or two at a time. She spent some of that time in my universe, where I was assisting her in getting back home, and as thanks for doing that, she gifted me these robes that you see her wearing here and that I am wearing now. I've made a few adjustments, as you can see, but considering the occasion, I thought today to be an excellent occasion to wear these. Now, this hat, on the other hand, Knight Gardenia tells me is a very unique magic item that, of course, she does not have access to give me, and, well, I wouldn't know where to even obtain such a thing. It does certainly complement the ensemble, but, I still think these robes suit me quite well, don't you? Can you explain how you became a teacher? Well, Cephia, that came about quite nicely. I said previously that I had done some work for the Crown in the past, and so when I decided I wanted to deepen my studies of conjuration after meeting Knight Gardenia, I sort of called upon a favor from Miorma's king. And fortunately, the at that time current Dean of Conjuration was about to leave on a trip of his own, and so I am a somewhat temporary faculty member while he is on sabbatical. Can I teach chat Fireball or Magic Missile? Neither of those are conjuration spells, and since I have limited time to teach you all today, I will be focusing on Conjuration. I appreciate your enthusiasm, though. And, of course, it would be very nice if I could teach more classes after today, but we'll see how that goes. Cloud of Daggers is Conjuration, yes. Next, let me tell you a bit about the Vemay Teldt Royal Academy of the Metaphysical Arts. I do not believe that any of you are familiar with the country of Miorma. Knight Gardenia wasn't, but you do all have a small, distant relation to the country. Miorma is actually, well, the land that was once called Vtuber, that being Knight Gardenia's homeland, is now part of what is now Miorma. I've done an extensive bit of divination to find out more on the subject myself, as by now the histories of those nations absorbed during Miorma's conquest are starting to be lost to time, but if my divinations have led me correctly, I believe that Vtuber once existed around where the city of Crossroads and the woods of Droaam now sit. This, coincidentally, is where I am from. And, I point that there are some histories of Miorma that are perhaps of interest to you because of that connection, but are also of interest to Vemay Teldt and my connections to Conjuration. Greetings, Big Bro Katsu. Please take out your notes and pull out a seat wherever you like. We've only just begun. So, as I've said, and as you've heard inklings of in Knight Gardenia's own accounts, Miorma is a country that was previously very militaristic. It was in the past quite a bit smaller, originating around where its capital city, Vemay Teldt, is now, and lacked for many resources, and so set about to obtain them through conquest. It was able to do this thanks to the one particular resource they did possess, that being the Arcane Ores that are mined from the mines of knowledge. These ores are extremely potent sources of natural magic that have long been a subject of research and study by wizards and artificers alike. The artificers went so far as to create a golem factory, utilizing Miorma's then only other considerable resource, clay, to create, expendable miners. The mines of knowledge are very dangerous places, given the concentration of arcane energies, and so explosions and things of that nature were bound to happen. And yet they innovated enough that they could mine it somewhat safely and use the power of that arcane ore to take over everything that would become Miorma. No. They're golems, clay golems, not mortal children. The arcane ore has another notable quality, which is that it has been suspected to cause planar distortions. One of those being a very active Fae crossing in the woods of Drawfield, which is a place that I have visited several times as part of my research. Oui, in the interest of the experience of the other classmates, I don't think I will be constantly repeating myself, but I'm sure there will be some repeated information, and of course, if I have not answered your question by the end of the presentation, you may use the Legend Lore Redeem to ask me whatever you wish to know. So, I will Is that bismuth? No, that is Arcane Ore, as I said. I'm sure it looks like bismuth, perhaps in your universe. Now, did I forget to tell you about my familiar? Well, before we get to our most complicated subject, I did promise to tell you about my familiar on this slide. The familiar that you've been summoning around my head. Well, I normally just call him Familiar, but Pierre does feel like a fitting name for him. He came into my services about, it's hard to tell time with all the trips to the Feywilds, given that time works very differently there. I would also not recommend consuming Arcane Ore. As I stated before, it does have a tendency to explode. Cephia, thank you so much for enrolling in the academy. I'm glad that you like my lessons. The familiar I found during my travels prior to gaining tenure at the academy, and he has been traveling with me for perhaps 4 years. And as to why he's not a dog, well, the familiar I found was a cat. I don't know what else to tell you. He is a good boy, of course. Terrible things could happen, I assure you, Katsu. Right, let me take a sip of my tea, and then we will continue to the focus of our lesson today. Not forbidden candy. I ought to have asked Professor Elaine to come for some abjuration. Good thing we do not have any arcane ore in the classroom right now. So, I'm now wondering if perhaps I should have placed my familiar somewhere a little bit less obstructive. Conjuration, for those not familiar with the different schools of magic, conjuration in a broad sense includes teleportation and summoning. Some unfamiliar may wonder how these two forms of magic fit together in a single school, and to that, I would focus on people. It is possible, of course, to both teleport objects or summon objects, but by and large, many of our conjuration spells focus on transporting or conjuring creatures, and I like to think that whoever was responsible for categorizing magic the way we do today was as interested in people as I am. Rather than teach you a particular spell, I'd like to share with you what conjuration means to me as a practitioner, and why perhaps it will be meaningful to all of you. For I think it's importance and its value extends beyond even the casting of it. Katsu, I will perhaps tell you more about Arcane Ore towards the end of the presentation, when I go for the legend lores during the question slide. So, I will posit the Feywilds, which, as I've mentioned, I travel often. Within the Feywild, you could look at, let's say, a single race in a single court. Perhaps the pixies of the Fey Court. Or of the Fey Court, of the Spring Court. If you were to take all of the pixies of the Spring Court, you would find many different colors of wing, many different types of laughter, many different pranks played or not played, and different ideas for deals. You would find a wealth of stories, perspectives, histories, powers, and abilities. And then if you were to take that vast diversity and compare it to the pixies of the Summer Court, the differences between the spring and summer courts of the Feywild are difficult to understate. Each court has a separate set of rules that it is governed by, as well as those that actually rule over the court, and many of the properties that makes it up. And so even though we are looking at two collections of pixies that both belong to seasonal Fey courts, if you were to take the Venn diagram of those two groups, despite the massive diversity therein, the overlap would be surprisingly small. And that is before you add the diversity of every other type of creature in each of those courts. Doing so would cause each individual court circle to be infinitely wider in its diversity, and yet the overlap between the two would remain just as small. And now, if you were to take all of that, if you were to take all of the courts of the Feywild and all of the races, the absolutely astounding diversity of experiences, perspectives, and abilities, and then take the material plane, despite each of those two planes containing an infinite number of possibilities, the overlap between the two would still be infinitely small. That is what Conjuration means to me. I am a wizard, and wizards, by necessity, are endlessly curious. And that is why, I've mentioned a few times, I have done quite a bit of study into divination. I thought that would be what would satisfy my curiosity, and yet, over time I discovered that what I could search for, what I could see, was limited to the scope of where I knew to search. There were places beyond what I could even imagine, and that limited how much I was even capable of discovering. It is by going to different planes or meeting different creatures that you could not otherwise reach, not only to form interesting connections, but to gain access to abilities and skills that are beyond anything you could contain. That is why we summon creatures with powers over the elemental planes, or fey magics, or even demons. These are things that we cannot do alone and cannot do with what is within the material plane. Should I had attempted to limit the amount that you were able to summon my familiar to, well, it takes an action, so I thought to set it to 1 every 6 seconds, but I'm getting the feeling perhaps I could have set it a bit higher. Perhaps, maybe, if his meowing is distracting from the lesson, I can at the very least quiet him down. Would that help? Perhaps not. Let us do not silence the... Okay. Knight Gardenia did warn me that her colleagues were quite fond of meowing. Perhaps we'll just move to our next slide. Oh, reverse cards. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, I had quieted down the familiar a little bit, but I'll put him back up. Now, well. Now we should discuss our mutual colleague, Knight Gardenia. When I refer to Knight Gardenia, I am referring to the one from your universe. And perhaps you've picked up already that I am not from the same universe. I'm sure she would appreciate your compliments to the art. Many of you have probably seen this image. She uses it as her starting soon screen of her streams and in various social medias, but this is, for those who do not know, an image of Knight Gardenia during her magical sleep. Knight Gardenia was set to sleep by her sovereign back in Vtuber and laid sleeping for many centuries while the war went on, while Miorma took over. And during that time, according to Knight Gardenia's account, her casket was discovered by a magical garden which protected her and eventually relocated her casket to a place known as the United States of America. Now, what I am about to say next is something I have not told Knight Gardenia, so please be considerate of that next time you see her. I have met the Knight Gardenia of my own universe, but, well, I do not know how many flaps of a butterfly's wing, how many flips of a coin diverged between your universe and mine, but be thankful that you are in the one that you are, because in my universe, Knight Gardenia has yet to awaken, and honestly, I'm not sure she ever will. I discovered her almost a decade ago now, in the Feywilds. Now, whether this magical garden she speaks of is an extension of the Feywild itself, or if that is where things diverged, I cannot know for sure. I have my theories, but I discovered her asleep, resting among flowers in her casket, and, well, as I've said, I am curious by nature, and she presented to me a mystery. I invested quite a bit of time into attempting to divine who she was, where she came from, and if it was possible for her to awaken. During those divinations, I discovered your Knight Gardenia 7 months ago, and perhaps my searching is what caused the connection between us to form in such a way that eventually her mistakes in her own conjuration. Now, Knight Gardenia is a very intelligent and hard-working woman, I'm sure you are all aware, but a wizard she is not. And yet, that is a happy thing, because it led her to my universe, where I could finally meet the mysterious sleeping woman I had found in that casket in the Feywild. Also, well, I only call it a mistake because my universe is not where she had meant to travel, but she tells me that she was attempting to travel to her universe's astral plane to meet a cleric friend of hers. That, and she seems determined to visit the planar chaos, which I have advised she not do, but she seems adamant there is a friend there she wants to see. And she didn't make it when she instead found me, but the two of us have spent some time researching cross-universe travel, which is currently my specialization at Vemay Teldt. Cross-planar teleportation is already a fair bit difficult, but the inroads to cross-universe teleportation are, well, for reasons that I hope are evident, me being here with you all, are very exciting to me. And, as we discussed Conjuration and her lessons that she was taking in her own universe, I learned of the Clairsperience ritual, and the two of us ended up allowing this class that we're having today to come to fruition. So, thank you all for attending, and be sure to thank Knight Gardenia for loaning me her channel and a scrying crystal so you could all see me. Do I wish to have a duel? Well, then. From what Knight Gardenia has told me about you, reversed cards, that does sound a bit dangerous. I'll have to think about it. Don't forget to talk about the tasty rocks again. I won't. We are actually just at the final slide. We are going to have our first break in about 15 minutes. So until then, I will answer any questions you have, and I've just realized my way to access those questions is I will need to make some adjustments quick. But as you can see, here are some credits that helped me get this presentation together, and oh my, one of these seems to have glitched. Well, figures my first time using the Clairsperience ritual, there would be some interference. But I'd say overall, this is going quite well, wouldn't you think? Let me just... this over here. There we go. Now I should be able... Exactly, Katsu, I'm glad you understand. This is, after all, my debut stream. Let us look at the questions that have been asked. I think I have answered, do I wish to have a duel? So I will complete that. we have... Can I conjure your work but finished? Well, Wildflowers, that isn't lore, and also, as I'm busy teaching class at the moment and have been commanded by you to continue to do so until your work is over, I do not think I'm available to do that. I'll go ahead and refund your points, though. How did I find my familiar is something I have talked about. My favorite class to teach is, of course, Conjuration. And since this is my first time teaching, perhaps today's class is my favorite class to teach. Do you like the Atlantean presence in the sovereign waters? Now, Miss Emily, I do not know if the Atlantean presence exists in my universe, so unfortunately I can't say I have an opinion, but if they are as, if they are as charming students as you are, I'm sure I would. And then I can tell you some more about the, as you call them, tasty rocks. Though I will remind you, you should not eat arcane ore. Arcane ore, as I covered before, is a mineral that naturally contains potent amounts of arcane energy that have been found in the mines of knowledge located near the coast of Miorma. They are prone to causing magic surges when mined improperly, which have made mining them extremely dangerous. And on the other hand, they have been used as a arcane focus for the study of magic for wizards, either to intensify its effects or even to research the origins of arcane energy. And as for artificers, well, they're willing to do just about anything with arcane ore, or anything within the considerable legal regulations of Miorma. I may have neglected to mention this, but Miorma was once highly militaristic, but now is far more focused on law. It has conquered many former nations and now works tirelessly on its law system in order to regulate and govern all of them. Droaam, to the south, in recent times came about a quite violent revolution, but the previous, well, back then it was just called the Empire. Miorma based many of its founding principles on the Empire's system of governance, and so the fact that they were overthrown has made many nervous. Now, things like politics don't really interest me terribly much, but context is context. Miorma, as a result, is a very rigid and regulated place, which does make my travels to the Feywild all the more interesting, as that plane is somewhat inherently chaotic, despite its own set of very specific and rigidly enforced rules. Me and my feathers seem to like this kind of rock. What is everyone's fascination with the Arcane Ore? Perhaps if I give a second class, it should be on this. Perhaps we could even bring, the secondary head of transmutation, Professor Nell. She would know quite a bit more about it than I, being an artificer. It does look like a rainbow, and having these robes, I would agree that it is quite pretty. Do they now, Professor? Well, I'll do my best to handle them. Reverse cards, if you were to eat the Arcane Ore, you would likely survive, but I'm not sure if the rest of us would. Though I suppose I'm here in a different parallel universe entirely, so... I guess we just ought not to have you over to my dimension. Are there any other questions for me before our first break? Let me check the... No, we are still talking about the Arcane Ore, it seems. Well, perhaps we'll take our first break a bit early. I will set up our game, and when we come back from the break, perhaps the continued practical lessons will inspire more questions. Again, the legend lore. Am I a member of the summer court masquerading as a human? Well, that is a oddly specific request. What makes you peg me as the summer court specifically, Professor? Do I know a mage called Freeran? Ah, that is the long-lived elf who... The long-lived elf who is on a sort of secondary quest after their adventures, isn't she? I believe I'm thinking of the right mage. I do not know her terribly well, but she seems quite popular. Just a hunch. That is an interesting hunch you have, and you say it's that I'm legally required to say if I'm a fae. Side quest the anime. That is an interesting term. Side quests they can take you down some very interesting avenues. Haha, I thought as much, Professor. You won't get me that easily. But speaking of side quests, when I was researching my universe's Knight Gardenia, I did take a bit of time to practice the sword, a sort of way to perhaps understand what happened to her. Professor Bergamot, I understand you have also practiced the sword, I believe the rapier? Knight Gardenia was very enthusiastic in talking about you. She seems to enjoy your lessons very much. I can only hope to live up to it. Oh, I have not met Freeran. I do not believe she exists in my universe either. It is only since starting as a VTuber that I've scrawled more of this internet and come across mentions of her. Now, if she were to ask me for a duel, I would at least likely come out of it better than I would a battle with reversed cards. Let us not taste my blood. That is, I would prefer none of that to be happening in my classroom. I do not know how Professor Bergamont handles things in his classroom, but, none of that in mine, please. Is this new teacher hazing? All right, I think we will quit. As I said, there is no arcane ore in the classroom. I think, we will head to our first break a little bit early. Did I ever do a first class mage exam? I have not given an exam yet, because this is my first time teaching a class, but I'm sure I will. If you asked if I've taken any exams, why, yes, I did have to in order to get my job here at the academy. Is this class shark friendly? Of course, Miss Emily. So again, we will head over to our first break. Take this moment to get out of your seat, stretch, take any medications if you take those, have a snack, make yourself some tea. I'll drink a bit of mine, and when we return from the break, I will play a game with you that will help reinforce some of the lessons I talked about in terms of Conjuration. I'll see you all in 5 minutes. Now then, let's get back to it, shall we? I realized only after closing everything that I was supposed to swap this out. Here we go. Welcome, everyone, to the second section of our class. I hope that the starting lecture wasn't too, information dense. Now we are going to do something a bit more streamer-like, I suppose, but this is also where, if you continue to have questions, you may continue to ask them, and otherwise, well, hopefully this will be simultaneously entertaining and educational.
Graffiti Kingdom!
We are going to play some Graffiti Kingdom. Because this game starts with approximately 6 minutes of unskippable cutscenes, followed by another 2 minutes of unskippable cutscenes, I have, taken it upon myself to give us a bit of a head start. But, rest assured that, yes, Knight Gardenia does seem interested in playing this game, so perhaps you will see the introductory cutscene with her, but there is also a portion of this game where you can rewatch cutscenes, so she might choose to take this file I have started. This is a bit of a surprise, actually. I'm giving her this game as a gift. But this is a game, well, it'll be easier to show you rather than describe it, but we have all of these doors here, and behind each of them is a different realm, each of which is full of creatures with unique properties and abilities. Is this starting to sound familiar? This game was actually for the PlayStation 2. And how did the professor become the professor? If you mean what made me decide to apply for a job at the Vemay Teldt Royal Academy of the Metaphysical Arts, that would be soon after meeting Knight Gardenia and wanting to have more resources to pursue my studies of cross-universe transportation. I'd always been a wizard in some sense of the word or other, but that is when I became a professor. Now, only one of these doors should be opened for me, but let us see if it is this one. No. I'm pretty sure it is not the yellow door, because that is the tutorial area. Is it this one? Oh wait, it is probably actually the one with the sparkler. Let us try this one. It is perfectly alright, Cephia. Okay, I was incorrect once again, and I am pressing the buttons too quickly. We will get into the actual game. Oh, interesting. I assume we are going to mount here and there. That certainly seems like somewhere. Yes, this is where I meant to go, so we have some elemental abilities we are likely to uncover, and a cutscene.
Okay, so where to now?
So despite all that showing off, you really weren't thinking of anything.
Come on, where's the fun in thinking before you do something?
What an amazing personality you must have.
What the? I know that voice. Hey, that's my tutor!
Oh, gracious, already professor abuse.
It looks like
Game
he's in
quiet.
trouble. Aren't you going to help him?
Well, I don't really like him.
Excuse me?
Just kidding, just kidding.
I'm with Palette on
Okay,
this.
Here I come.
The dog box creature's name is Palette, and the little boy wearing her as a backpack is named Prince Pixel. And how this game works is we can use our graffiti wand to polymorph into the various creatures we uncover. Doing this grants us access to their abilities, which are unique between each creature, and then we can collect them as cards to keep more useful forms than this spongy. So let us save our professor, because that is a good thing for students to do. Well, I heard it was a popular spell.
You have become. This must be a strong reflection on how serious you've been with your studies.
Yeah, sure, whatever. By the way, what happens if you get captured?
An excellent question. Well done.
It is.
A terrible fate awaits those of us who are captured. When the devil built his palace, many of us were automatically trapped with the demons, who proceeded to hunt all of us down one by one. Those of us captured are taken to a place too horrible to describe. Prince Pixel? Prince Pixel! Prince Pixel!
Is the volume all right
Shouldn't you
now?
listen to the whole story first?
Yeah, right. Once he starts talking, it goes on forever and ever. It just makes me tired.
But he could have said something helpful.
Why sit and listen when we can find out ourselves? Forget him!
Well, I guess so. All right, let's hurry then.
10% higher or so. That can certainly be arranged. It most likely does. Oh, we have gained the ability to create tails. Now, I have misled you slightly with this game, because not only can you turn into various creatures, oh sorry, you can also draw them yourselves. This is a very poorly drawn Knight Gardenia, as I was reminding myself of the controls, but well, this is the part where the polymorphing comes in. Perhaps we can... I don't think I could draw myself due to all the colors. I mean, I suppose we could attempt, but we can either draw from scratch or attempt to find a good base. The one I used for Knight Gardenia was this one. You feel it's exactly an on-model Gardenia. I thought it was perhaps a little too tall. We haven't unlocked all that many... Well, class, what should we draw? You can call me Professor Bergamo. Tasty rocks, of course. Draw the tasty rocks. What about one of the magic golems? I think we might have something for that. Let me go back into my collection box and among these rare cards. Or perhaps it was one of the special ones. We have a golem right here, though Miorma's clay golems are... rainbow will be a bit difficult to color, and it has no limbs, so we can't use many of our abilities if we are a pile of arcane energy. I don't know if we've unlocked the ability to float yet either. Maybe once we get to the world that gives us access to wheels, we'd be able to roll? But we'd have to get through Mount Here and There first. If it has no limbs, how does it do stuff? The Arcane Ore? Well, we mine it and we use it for things. It isn't doing much of anything. One might ostensibly roll at the speed of sound if one had places to go, or, in this case, a rainbow to follow. Well, everyone seems very keen on it, so I will attempt to draw a arcane or golem, perhaps? So we'll start... You always start with the body, and we'll go for a upside-down crystal shape. Knight Gardenia told me that she wants to play this game, but with an art tablet being used to draw the shapes. Now, I did make some attempts while setting this up, but it seems hooking up a tablet mouse as a secondary controller and spacing the controls between the two is, not something I was able to figure out. I think we'll make our base color perhaps this Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Parts. Okay, this is where we do it. Purple. Can I attempt to make a cat in the color of the rock? I had considered perhaps making my familiar. We could do that. Though he is not made of arcane ore. Now let us go with an arm. Shall we make him T-posing? Try that. Just a simple arm. And this shall... We have spinning parts. Oh. Well, perhaps we will roll after all. Oops, I didn't mean to make that one spin, though. That is an arm.
What will you choose?
And then I would preferably like to copy this arm to the other side. You were in a D&D game. Well, I hope that it went well, Miss Emmy. Copy. There we go, we have a set of arms. Spinning arms are great, just ask Popeye. The Sailor Man. Yes, he does seem to use that to quite good effect. Perhaps in the pursuit of the LGBT rocks, we will change these colors. Perhaps this will be a pink. And this one, a blue. From your 94 hit points, you had 34 left, but your spells were good for legendary resistant burning, and you cast it slow twice. So they had to burn both their legendary actions. Well, that does seem like a good use of spell slots. Ah! Hello, Lilith. What seems to be troubling you? How about let us... Oh, this is not my best work. But you know, it might have a charm to it. This shall be our head. Maybe we'll make it bright and yellow. You've uploaded your song to Twitter. Well, congratulations, Miss Bellamira. I hope the recipient of your song is appreciative of it. And good work on completing it. Making a piece of music is no small feat. Speaking of feet, do we want to give this golem feet, or do we want to allow it to roll? I haven't made a creature that rolls yet, so perhaps we might do that. If, the attempt at a cat head is acceptable. Make them uncomfortably realistic. If I don't want to slow this stream down too much, I probably shouldn't strive for something that, complicated. I'm thinking a set of 2 wheels instead of 2 legs. So let us draw something like... it ought to be somewhat circular. We want it to roll. Again, not perfect, but this shall be a spinning part. And then we shall make another connection down here. Copy. Place. And there. 2, interesting wheels, and we shall make this one red, and this one green. Raise his hand in a wing. Ask if you want to put something on it that makes sure we notice that it fits my brand. Well, what do you suppose we should put on it, Miss Ephia? Assuming that Miss is the correct term for you, I do not actually know. How long did I study in the area of being a cutie? Well, I don't know that I've studied it purposefully, but I have studied others who may fit the description, if that counts. I think we will switch to the pattern pen, and sure, we could put some glasses on. Let's first make some eyes. Here's some eyes, and since this is ostensibly a cat, perhaps a little mouth. And then some glasses. Oh, those are... Well, it's... You can tell what they are. Well, thank you for attending class, Katsu. The VOD for this stream will likely be added to Knight Gardenia's YouTube channel. So and the VOD will stay up for as long as it does here. So if you wish to catch the rest of class later, please feel free. Now, class, does this cat golem, Arcane Ore golem, need anything else, do you think? We could add a tail. Should it be a long tail or a short tail? Gotta switch back to a sword. Well, Knight Gardenia would certainly enjoy a sword. Should we make the tail a sword? That could be interesting, especially given that this is made of arcane ore. The tail wouldn't exactly be soft. A long sword tail. Alright, let us see what we can do. They don't let me push this canvas back much. It looks a bit like a devil tail. I wanted to undo that, but is it recognizable as a sword? We could redo it. We will make this gray, like a sword, even though, well, this certainly is a creature. How about, before we complicate things too much, we take it for a spin.
That looks done.
Oh, we need to name the creature. What should we name this creature, class? We all came up with it together, after all. We've conjured it, even. I'm glad you believe it is a creature of all time. Rainbow Rock. We could... Let us see if we have enough room for that, while others potentially make suggestions. Do we even have room for Rainbow Rock? I hope you enjoy these, little squeaky noises, because... oh boy, are there a lot of them. We do have room for Rainbow Rock. I'm not seeing any other suggestions, so Ainbow Rock. Oh! That is funny. That is funny. I'm seeing a lot of votes for Rainbow Rock, so I suppose we will keep the first and last letters of this name intact this time. And let us see how this moves. Never mind, we can go back and rename it. So this is how it looks at the moment. Oops. Oh boy, look at that go. Now, Bouncy does amuse me, but Fluffy makes it float. They're all very good. Oh, they're all very cute. I do like this one, alright. And voices for these are weird. On one hand, we've made a golem, so it could be a stone. On the other hand, it's cute, so... Oh, that's a little too squeaky for my taste. Maybe we'll just go cute. Oh, there's a voice for wheels. That's not fun. Cute. And then its attacks. It has pre-populated it with some ideas that honestly bore me at the moment, so... The backstep attack is terrible. We have a tackle, which could be good. And we have the stomp press. Jumping is good. And then we can have some arm attacks. We can teach the Rainbow Rock or the Ainbow Rock defense curl. We can do various punches. We don't have a lot of wheel abilities yet, it seems. Which makes sense, because we haven't gone to the level based around it. Defense magic to take care of itself. Alright, we will teach it defense curl. So we just have a basic tackle, stomp press, jump, and defense. If we venture further into this level, we may find new abilities to teach our Ainbow Rock. So perhaps that will be our goal for this class. I'll go ahead and change the name. Oops. There we go. And then do I have to type this whole thing? I think I may have to retype this whole thing, unfortunately. Knight Gardenia certainly will be confused when she finds this. Or maybe she won't, considering this is, matching my brand. Ainbow Rock. There we go. Let us make sure to save our creature. We have, Knight Gardenia in here. Teacher, this cat rocks. Well, thank you. I couldn't have conjured it up without all of your help. I'm trying to place this in set different... No. Okay, here we go. We are going to replace this one, as thematically appropriate as it is, with our rock cat. And now we can transform. Oh, the defense curl is on the opposite button I thought it was, so that is going to... Oh, wait. I actually want to learn. We have gained Tremble Stomp. I think that's just the same stomp, but cold. And we've gotten its card. Okay, let's turn back into the star of the show. Oh, and there is a very punchy-looking fellow, an ice champ. We got Fear Punch and Cold Stomp. Do we want to give our cat any ice powers? We could also get some fire. Oh, ow. This game is excellent. I am glad even, that you agree. Oh, what is the face on this? Oh, that is excellent. Back into the cat. I am having a little bit of trouble with, and there is our fire champ, which I would like to steal the abilities of. Hot Stomp and Fire Punch. Get back here. Wonderful. I'm going to go back over here for a second because we are running out of slots with which we can become other things. Have a good day. See you in another realm, perhaps. Thank you very much for attending class. Oh, I suppose Knight Gardenia might watch the VOD, yes. Well, we'll cross that bridge when it comes. I'm going to go in here quick and actually swap some of its attacks around because I would like to not perish. So actually, I would like you to be the tackle, and where is... Oh, this is an arm attack. Interesting. And then we can change our stomp press to be a fire or a tremble stomp. I sort of like tremble. Okay. Let us find more creatures. You know, for a wheel, fire or... Since I put on the ice stomp, I suppose I'll go to the fire area. Drock lock is what this is, and now what I am. Oh, the little back kicks. Absolutely atrocious. Now this game is oh, it tripped me. Is technically a sequel to the game Magic Penguin. Their stories are not connected, but the fighting system is different, but the drawing system is the same. So that is another game to look into if you are a fan of this one. Now, I don't know if this is as evidence you gain abilities as you progress through the game. I cannot get on this box. I believe we will just get here later in the level rather than this being a backtracking thing. The child protagonist from this game reminds you of Chargeman Ken. Well, I'm afraid I'm not familiar, so I have no choice but to believe you. Let's go through this door and see what we can find. A diaper frog. Okay, then. It's very bouncy. Well, one of them seems interested in fighting instead. We got a high jump. I appreciate that. High jump just seems strictly better than regular jump. Oh, and would you look at that? We are up here and there is a hidden card. No! I wanted to use the high jump. Fear uppercut and ice tackle. Very good. Professor Churchman Ken is to be considered the worst anime in history. And Prince Pixel's face reminds you of him. Well, that's quite unfortunate for Prince Pixel. If Knight Gardenia were here, she would perhaps be, slightly upset for him. Being a fan of nobility, especially princes, since she served under one. Though, truth be told, when I was working for the crown, I was working for the prince as well. Oh, and here we are up here. Oh, my, what are these? Something that has given us a fire hook and fire uppercut. And sets us on fire. Which, is doing poor things to my health. So perhaps I will leave. Oh, what are those? How do I get out? Okay, this door is sealed. Understandable. Ow. Knight Gardenia, get us out. When it comes to protecting her cohorts, Knight Gardenia is very skilled. I'm sure we will make it out of here safely, and look at that we have. And I think while we are here... No, well, while we are here, I will perhaps not accidentally leave, and instead... give this cat a higher jump. Where is the jump? There we go. And I think I would also like to save the game. I've also noticed my familiar has actually just conjured himself just behind me, and likely would like me to let him out, so... Since everyone has been so concerned about my familiar, perhaps I will take a brief moment to check in on him. Well, hello, familiar. And he immediately leaps to the doorway, where, there we go. The familiar has been dismissed, but you can summon him back whenever you like. I'll have a sip of tea since we're paused. Very good. Let us get back to where we were. We haven't unlocked the cards for these yet, so... This version of Knight Gardenia, you might agree, is, not very good because she doesn't have a sword. It was a rough draft. You can also perhaps see her balding a little bit. I'm sure you all understand that is not accurate to Knight Gardenia. She is very long, correct, Professor. There's the card. This is an easy game to be a bit of a completionist in, so... Go. Oops. Well, that's, one way to jump high. Let's go through our second door, and, we also do appear to be running low on health once again, which is unfortunate. Perhaps some of these poorly dressed frogs will gift us some health. They don't look like clerics, but you never know. There we go. You're individually checking whether or not each comma in this document should be italicized. Oh my goodness gracious, that does sound miserable. And I do not think you are meant to make your way up to where I was without the powers of flight, so I simply will not attempt it. Okay, so now we are back here. I did turn into these funky missiles. So if Knight Gardenia can manage to vanquish them, you know, I might go ahead and equip one of those fire abilities, because they seem to be quite good, by which I mean unfair. Okay, but if we want to go on a ramp, certainly we should use the one with wheels. There we go. I wonder what we just got. Shall you have the permission to eat your ice cream? Well, I don't know why I should keep you from that. So long as you do not distract the rest of the class too much, eat away. Just going to quick heal. Well, if you've brought enough to share with the class, that's all the better. It is a shame that Knight Gardenia seems a bit faster than our cat with wheels, but... where's the doorway? Here it is. And... oh my, what is this? We've got some very sparkly water and a card. I think we need to use ice to get across. Yukio has not taught me anything new. But... oh, no! Well, this is about to be, a stream. Now, we did teach you the ice, yes. So we can use the cat. Let's go! Would you rather have a cat with wheels or a very long night? I mean... It sounds a bit like, would I rather modify Knight Gardenia or my familiar? And I suppose whichever of them is most alright with it. Oh, okay. This might work a bit better for us or not. Let's give this one more attempt. I am about to lose this power, so I will need to grab another of you. If I don't get it, I can certainly take on this challenge, or have Knight Gardenia attempt it another time. Oh, ha. So close. I know I said one more time, but one additional time after that. Why do you force all? Well, because I want cards. The cards, of course, being ways to get new and unique abilities. There we go. And we have got it. And now I suppose we will drown. Oh, Well, I did say I was gifting this file to her, so... Would I leave Knight Gardenia bereft of cards? No. After she has so graciously allowed me to use her stream today, it is the least I can do. Alright, we will now attempt not to fall off the edge. Perhaps we should just leave, yes. There we go. Apparently these pots are not breakable. There we go. Or wait, have I transformed into these yet? I don't think so. Fire chop and hot roundhouse kick. Very well then. There is a switch here, and that appears to have summoned a creature. Or did the door just... I don't know what that did. Your theory suggests that you eat a rainbow rock to become stronger and tastier. I would disagree with that theory. But go ahead and ask your question. Oh my. This looks... Let's quick save. Let's quick save. I do know that Knight Gardenia plays 3DS games on stream and had some very powerful feelings about 3DS games and the ability of people to view them. I believe she has most recently been playing the Future Card Buddy Fight games, which were Japanese only. But she has a couple of others. She played a bit of Kid Icarus Uprising. Well, my apologies, Knight Gardenia. I think in reality, Knight Gardenia is able to swim. There is a world where it is... Yes, this might be a... Oh, wait. We should quick borrow your form. There we go. Well, this move is very pretty. And I do not get that experience points. Knight Gardenia is very fond of Kid Icarus Uprising and has many feelings about how more people should know about its humor. Cold Spin Kick and Spin Punch. I'd perhaps... Okay. I hope that didn't drop the card, because I'm not getting it. Would I ever plan on playing it on stream? Well, this is Knight Gardenia's channel, first and foremost, but... perhaps... Ah! Well... We might almost want to consider adding an ice creature to our arsenal so that I don't accidentally forward tackle off of a cliff. Yes, Wildflowers, your drowning emote is quite relevant. Skill issue. Why, I never. Oh, we are lacking in cards. Unfortunate. Well, actually... What? I have a new plan. I am not making my own channel at this time. Only because the streaming across universes is rather difficult. This channel, by and large, belongs to Knight Gardenia, who generally streams Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, with right now being her, mid-afternoon. If you leave a follow here, I will make sure to pass on... Well, no, you already did. I'll make sure to pass on your interest in 3DS games, and she will likely play them soon. She did just finish the game she was playing. Edit tax. That is what I'm doing. Because we have a hook. Oh, you get a spin. Well, we don't want a spin. Where is the hook? Fire hook. Knock upper kick. Cold upper kick. Indeed. Shobra of the Shadows. Thank you for the raid. It is good to have you and your compatriots. My name is Osmo Bergamo, Dean of Conjuration here at Vemay Teldt Royal Academy of the Metaphysical Arts. All of you, feel free to, raid and run if you must, but if you would like to say, pull out your notes and take a seat wherever you like. And anyone who doesn't know Shobra, from what Knight Gardenia has told me, they are a shape changer, which we are doing quite a bit of shape changing today, so perhaps there will be some mutual interest there. We have adjusted the bear's attacks. We have quite a bit of rainbow in our arsenal. Yes, I should note that if you haven't been to this channel before, I am not the regular streamer. Normally, Knight Gardenia would be here. Stole his whole flow word for word, bar for bar. I have no clue what you mean. And I don't think Well, I might not be able to get these cards for Knight Gardenia, because they are far more likely to fall into the ice. Perhaps the penguin, though. We can just punch it into this corner and keep it here. And we didn't get the card. This is fine. This is fine. There are quite a few there's one distant platform, I suppose, but I don't see a point in making my way over there, so I won't. Oh. Ah, so close. Well then. Professor, I know you kind of explained it already, but do you ever plan on playing Kid Icarus on stream? Whether I do will matter whether I can host another class, but it is within the realm of possibility, and if I don't, then I'm sure you would enjoy seeing Knight Gardenia play it just as much. To pull back the curtain a bit, this is Knight Gardenia with a different model, so yes. Yes, the person who is speaking the words could play the games. Anyway. Who said that? Hola, ostrich. That is quite the jump on this ostrich. And it is definitely going to send itself into the abyss. Oh! Aha! Oh my goodness, what is that? I don't know. Let's find out. We are unlocking a lot of spin kicks, and he is perished. Well. Tea is nice. Maybe I'll take some of mine. Mine has gotten a little bit cold, but as it does. Oops. Professor, you feel quite bad for these creatures. Do I think they have feelings? They have strong feelings about setting me on fire, and supposedly are currently responsible to enslaving the human race? Which I suppose is a feeling one might have. On a scale of 1 to 20, how powerful would I consider myself being? In terms of pure offensive power, maybe a 1 to 20. If Professor Bergamo were still here, I wonder how he would answer. You love canonically lanky Aster. Well, we will bring her back out then for you. Though actually, I'm going to head through this door and hope it leads to a healing spot. Well, there's some form of healing. Did we give this cat a fiery attack? No. These bunnies are very cute, but I desperately need to heal. Oh. I don't think I'm going to get the chance to heal. I don't like the looks of that hill. I think I will, At what year have you been born? It is difficult to say, again, because of all of my travel to the Feywild. My age doesn't quite correspond to the span of time I have seen in the material plane. if it's any condolences, Knight Gardenia just had her birthday on Friday and turned 28. Personally feel like your power, in fact, quite comprehensible, but you're welcome to duel me. The duel between reversed cards and Wildflowers the Bunny, I dare say, might be legendary. What is not legendary is the number of places I can heal. I wonder if these rabbits could help. Wildflowers, your assistance, please. No. This translucent, oh geez. They can be aggroed, it turns out. This is unfortunate. Thank you for the booping. Are we on Tumblr? Can these bunnies dig? Not this one. It has no limbs. I'm going to search for... Oh. Oh, ah! Oh! Alas. Sure. Saving seems fine. What a kind children's video game. Continue, please. Now, where will it have us continue from? Ah! Just as I feared. Well. Here's my new plan. Knight Gardenia. We've allowed the bear to become our ice user. Knight Gardenia can become our fire user. So this hook shall become the fire hook. This back roundhouse kick shall become the hot roundhouse kick. This knock chop shall become the fire chop. And there we go. Nothing sword related. Eventually in this game, you become able to have wings and guns and laser beams. So, once one is able to cross an expanse of water without perishing, that is. Which, unfortunately, we cannot go elsewhere to uncover that ability because all other areas are locked behind this one. I did not forget to save. I saved. There were no save points after this point. I was looking around for one. I'm just going to ignore the platform. There we go. Princess Pumpkiny. I believe that is a rare... Please? Thank you. I need her to come back here so I can get the rare card. Please, please, excuse me. Nope, she didn't give it. This is fine. You seem quite convinced I have something to do with the summer court, Professor. Have you ever been to the Feywilds? I would assume you've done an amount of planar travel. Oh, I can run through here. I simply assumed I could not. This game seems to have poor game design. Matter of fact, you have been there a few times yourself. Well, we certainly have much in common. Ah! Including being human wizards. Oh, here's another Princess Pomni. Oh, her pathing is broken. I can now use combinations. I'll admit I don't know what that means, but we can do it now. Uh-oh. Lanky Gardenia is... Perhaps if we gave her the high jump. Welp. We will go the other way. I'm surprised we still don't have the card for this thing. Well, not important at the moment. Let us see if our... Haha! Perfect. Let us pick a fight with a snow bunny. I believe that Wildflowers is more fire-based than ice-based, so hopefully she will forgive me. We have obtained Fire Spin Punch from this hard nut. It certainly has a way of walking. Perhaps Wildflowers. Oh, this has no jump. Complicated to be played for children. Well, the first portion of the game, the tutorial section, I managed to get the cards for all of the enemies and defeat the first boss within half an hour, so it might just be that I am bad at platforming. And now we are back here with these large fellows, hockey men. Fear Hook and Cold Kick. Oh! There's something up here. And it is... These monsters are very slippery. Oh, hello. A big hockey man. Super even. Ow. Ow. This appears to be a bit dangerous. I would like to transform into the Super Hockey Man, but first it must be safe enough to do so. There we go. And we got 2 techniques from that, so wonderful. I believe this door, it will aha! We have reached our boss. Why do they have gas masks on? I believe those are hockey masks. And now we can fight a boss. Oh, I have just noticed that, we have reached our next hour mark. So perhaps we will take a quick break before our boss battle. And then we will come back to it. We will unlock 2 new areas and make our cat even more powerful. Please take this moment to get up, stretch, grab a drink of water, a snack, take any medications if you have any, and I will see you all in 5 minutes. Now then, let's get back to it, shall we? We are back. I have just run out of my tea, so next break will definitely be our last. There was a potential for this break we've just come back from to be our last, but the teleportation circle has reigned otherwise. I will not blame anyone who cannot stay until the end of stream, but there will be some interesting closing remarks in the last half hour, so anyone who has been interested in the class thus far may want to look at the VOD after the stream is over. I did just realize I forgot to run ad breaks during the breaks, which sort of ruins the point. Well, it is my first time streaming, so we'll accept imperfections.
Muscle! You're late, kid. I got sick of waiting.
And you are?
Huh? You dare to ask? I am Carlton, personal servant to His Eminence, the Devil.
It is
You mean
voice acting.
You're the boss of this world?
Boss? Well, see, I'm not interested in being a boss. So if that's what you're looking for, you want to talk to Easel.
If you aren't the boss, I guess we're finished then. Bye.
Well, that's what you think, little guy. The rules state that if you want to keep on going, you've got to beat me first. Tough, ain't it?
Well then, why didn't you say so sooner?
Look, could you, at least act scared or something? Man, kids today.
Never mind him, he's just difficult, that's all.
What'd you say?
He did the same thing to the first boss.
Arg! Enough talk already. I waited for you so long, I already had lunch 3 times today. Now, get yourself ready so we can fight.
Wow, he sure reminds me of someone I'm hanging from now.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
It's a good game.
Can you take this one?
He looks a little different, a bit more green. I will attempt to deal with this with our class's creation, but well, actually, this is going decently well. Oh, card. There we go. As I believe Miss Wildflowers would say on her stream, heart of the cards. Oh, he also knows Defense Curl. Okay, this is starting to go a bit less well. I may swap over. Oh, he's certainly coming for us, isn't he? Actually, this may be a job for the cat. There we go. Okay, this is, perhaps spare. There we go. This seems to be... Well, it was almost better. Cart of the Hards. Boy, you're glad Knight isn't here because she can't be angry with you when you say you haven't had lunch. Well, perhaps Knight Gardenia can't be upset with you, but I can still be concerned. Especially when we've had 2 different breaks for you to have time to get yourself some food. Well, this is a terrible place to spawn me in. But now I can float, so... Alright, full health. Let us try that again. And, okay, they did skip the cutscene. That's good, because generally, cutscenes don't really like to be skipped. Goodness gracious. Oh goodness, the jump on this bear is not terribly good. I might swap that out. This seems to be going a fair bit better. Ow. So this is Dark Souls of our universe. I don't know what it looks like for you, but for us it looks just like this. That was, unfortunately, not Gay Bowser, so we just punched him instead.
Not bad, kid. I think I'm gonna have to get serious now.
What? You're still alive?
Of course. You think I would lose to a petty little... what? What's happening?
And now he has been deconjured.
Wow, you finally realized that.
Don't think you'll get so lucky next time. I'll see ya, kid.
Or
Weird guy.
banished, I
I think
suppose.
we're about halfway there. Let's keep going.
Still half? This is starting to get boring.
Don't say that, it's
Real
my first
fast,
stream.
You know that?
Let us at least give the cat the victory lap. Though this style of walking is actually making it a little bit difficult. The line pen has been added. Oh, that sounds fantastic, actually. Well. The way the camera zooms out and it's just a goofy little cat. Let's go ahead and save our game. And then we will carry on. With our all-star team of conjured critters. We'll bring back out Dig Dog. Tail slash get. And we've obtained the dog. Do the tail slash again. Show us the tail slash. It was so cute. Adorable. Now we could actually have our cat do something with its sword tail. I had almost forgotten it had it. Oh, an ambu dog. Not to be confused with the dig dog. Oh, it has fallen off the cliff. Does this game have fall damage? It doesn't. But the dog did despawn. Well. Oh! Ow. Ow. Call an ambulance, yes, for me. I don't think we made any progress but we're going to save just in case. I want that silly dog with the hat. And I would also enjoy not falling repeatedly into the lava. Well, my apologies, Knight Gardenia. Ow. There we go. Knockout slash. Oh, interesting. The ears have been programmed as arms. Who's this twink? Do you perhaps mean me? My name is Osmo Bergamo, professor here, Dean of Conjuration here at the... Goodness gracious, I'm trying to speak and not get murdered. I have made the mistake of having Knight Gardenia jump into the lava again. Alright, let us do this properly. My name is Osmo Bergamo, Dean of Conjuration here at the Vemay Teldt Royal Academy of the Metaphysical Arts. Welcome to class. Please take out your notes and take a seat wherever you like. I have, I taught a brief lesson about Conjuration, and I'm now demonstrating that lesson through this game, which is called Graffiti Kingdom. You've been lurking since the PowerPoint. Well, never mind then. You know exactly who, this twink is, I suppose. Assuming you were referring to me, which you have not actually confirmed or not. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious, once again. Okay. This is fine. This is perfectly all right. Professor Bergamont there in the chat seems to, have some reactions. The two of us just so happen to look very alike. This is, of course, a complete coincidence that we are both very similar-looking human wizards that are Deans of Conjuration at our respective Royal Academies. And definitely has nothing to do with the current calendar date. Not that I'd imagine anyone would be wondering such a thing. Alright, let us try this again. I must turn into the red lizard now. She seems to have dealt herself quite a bit of damage. And also there's oil all... Okay, I've figured out what I was doing wrong. Well, these ladies seem quite capable of taking care of themselves. There we go. Think it's April 1st and the... You are quite convinced that I'm in the summer court and not in Vemay Teldt. My fellow student, shall I point out that this twink has a different hair color than the knight? And is a wizard and not a knight. These are both true. Knight Gardenia has brown hair and is not a wizard. Well, I don't know what you mean. Knight Gardenia and I worked for many months to set this up just for today. Not that the date is of any significance, but... Well, we have more dancing lizards and also some... whatever those are. Very well. More very dangerous platforming. Excuse me, Liz? I do not want the tailspin, thank you. Fall into... Okay. Could you come over here, please? Thank you. What? Oh, ah. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay. Wait, are you a real professor even, or rather in April? Well, no, of course I am a real professor. I mean, I'm teaching a class right now, am I not? Oh, interesting. Where's the license? Well, it is in my office, but unfortunately I do have my hands a bit full, so I cannot get it out for you. But I was, instated at the Vemay Teldt Royal Academy. Oh my, new creature. By the king himself. Ah! Oh, I would like those experience. What game is this? This is Graffiti Kingdom. I should not have done the thing I just did. Well. Where will they send us back to, I wonder? Oh. The very beginning, I see. This is fine. This is fine, once again. You know, when I was testing this game before class, I thought to myself, well, certainly, since it took me half an hour to handily defeat the first area as a completionist, doing it the second area will take not much more than a half hour to make considerable progress. That unfortunately does not appear to be the case. Because I am hoping that the other areas in this game feature significantly less platforming elements. Well, the range does not seem to be working out, which does make this a job for Knight Gardenia? Or perhaps not. I wished to take a look at our surroundings. The camera is not being very kind to me. No, okay, we are most likely about the parish again. Well, no, I definitely collected the heart lizards. I don't have their cards, but I'm attempting... Oh, I didn't actually want to save. I'm attempting not to worry about the cards too much in the interest of keeping this stream interesting. This is, after all, a children's action platformer that I hoped to keep on... I hoped that most of the time spent not progressing would be spent drawing creatures, but it seems that we are instead spending that time platforming. Also, I don't want to fight the lizards because they, will cause me to lose health, which I do not seem to have much of consistently. And they didn't drop any for me. We can grab this health if we would use the correct creature with the correct jump height. I personally think backtracking through this level for the sake of completion would best be done once flight is unlocked. I think we do need Knight Gardenia's longer reach. Also, perhaps a bit more skill in dodging. We can see that, well, Knight Gardenia is more experienced in combat than, or at least this sort of melee combat, than I am. Well, a good cast of Fireball does seem to often answer one's woes. And there we go. We have solved things like a wizard, and it appears we've found our next boss. Let us just save so we do not need to go through that entire section again. And then after we do that, we will be closing in on perhaps our final break and then our closing remarks. I suppose we will attempt it with the cat. Or should I give the cat the sword attack? That might be good. Instead of the tackle or the tremble stomp. Tail attack, we have... Yeah, I definitely support you getting food, Wildflowers. Well, I've perhaps changed my mind about this tackle business because I remember how much I hate tailspins and attacks that go behind you. So, we'll just leave the cat with the abilities it has. Spinny. Well, my fellow professor seems to perhaps disagree with my judgments on the amount of spinny this cat should have. Alright, we'll give the cat spinny. It is a multi-hit attack, which is quite good. I just don't enjoy the wind-up and the way it moves me. Because I've fallen off a few too many cliffs already today. Spin. Ice tail spin. There we go. Wait, what was that? Oh! That's right, we have... Let us try this. If we get... Don't know what Knockout Punch does, but if we do this... Okay. You'll just put this back. We should now have the ability to actually form combos, but the Ice Tailspin does not do them, and I'm not sure if I picked a bad arm attack or if it simply doesn't want to be on triangle. Either way, let us take our newly spinny cat and see what we can do to this boss battle. And another... or not. Oh, we have some granny koalas. We got Knockout Uppercut and Extreme Tackle. You know, I think there is ability in this game for just exploding, and that might be the best move we could give our Arcane Ore Golem. To remind the class that Arcane Ore is unstable and not good for eating. Oh, what are these little Knyopi? They're very fond of jumping and not let us stop being Knyopi. I think I would prefer to be the cat right now. And now we have some panda folk, who don't appear to be very good assassins, considering their tendency to... They also have almost no attacks. Well, we've got it now. And a heal for good measure. Oh boy, more platforming. That takes us back to the previous section. My favorite, as you know. If only we could unlock proper teleportation, this would not be nearly so much of an issue. A top dog Nobi. Tail loop get. Well, we've gotten a new tail attack, which... Oh, it's very, very cute. Well, wait. Let's go tail attacks against tail attacks. It seems you are all enjoying some time with my familiar. Fluffy familiar indeed. He is a good kitty. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh, my... Okay. And I cannot the bug. There was a rare bug here, and it fell off the cliff. Very unfortunate. Well, we have got some creatures here. We'll try to grab this jumpin' jelly flash. And this gentle... Oh, I am out of transformations. Very unfortunate. Ow. Ow. That did not help me in the slightest. And I have checked that, oh, jeez. No, the health. Okay. Do I actually want to bother fighting these gentle shrimp? They do not seem terribly gentle. I think I ought to just make my way out. Wind of the Pan Ravine. Well. Oh, goodness gracious, please let me save and heal. I think Shrimp Heaven now. I do not know if it is Shrimp Heaven to be, ambushed at my save point. Conveyor Belt of Shrimp. I believe this is a reference to a D&D session that you had with Knight Gardenia. Oh, wait. We can't keep doing this. Indeed. Could any of you stay still and let me paint you? Excuse me. They have such small hitboxes and are pummeling me. And very... Oh, I hate how it walks as well. Let me just... Well, all of you seemed keen on me having a dog. We have hit explosion. Well, I have no clue what that does, but it doesn't seem to be terribly much. I'm sorry, I did have to massacre all of them. Why are these roots serving? Are they? I'm just going to go ahead and... I'm actually not sure at this point why I'm saving. We have been going for almost 3 hours, and I am just pressing buttons. I am just pressing buttons. Alright, I could go back to become the shrimp, but in the interest of progress, let's see how much further we... Oh, boy. He simply fell off! Okay, ow, ow. It doesn't hurt to save. It certainly doesn't. What are these? They delight me. Oh, this one has electric attacks. Could I borrow them? Could I... Excuse me? Excuse me? No. That is not what I meant to... Have I ever polymorphed into a shrimp? I generally prefer to polymorph into more humanoid creatures. I think the experience of being a shrimp, I did not mean to hit that button. The experience of being a shrimp would not be especially interesting or enlightening for me. So no, I have not polymorphed into a shrimp. You know, I'll be honest, when I left the redeems for Legend lore on, I thought people may ask me about my cohorts at the college or something like that, but it has been mostly about whether anyone can eat the rocks, the Arcane Ore, and my familiar. In that case, why polymorph instead of alter self? Oh, we're getting there. Interesting. Why polymorph instead of alter self? Well, alter self does not allow for a complete transformation, and therefore, you could say, hurts my immersion? If I am trying to get into the shoes of someone else, I'd rather do it fully. Also, I've realized there's no reason for me to... Excuse me. I cannot see what I'm doing. There we go. What did you do for the crown? I am afraid that that is confidential. What I can say, it is Knight Gardenia in the game. And hello, Lord Narosama. Greetings, welcome to class. Feel free to pull out your notes and take a seat wherever you like. We also have an Arcane Ore golem cat with a sword for a tail and my glasses, and a rainbow bear, which we did not make in class. Lord Tatiana would have no issues with me claiming what I did for the crown. It would be the king himself. I still don't have any charges because I kept pressing the wrong button. Hello, new VTube who is debuting. Greeting Dagger Gun. Indeed, this is my debut and I am brand new to VTubing. I'm going to quick save my game so to avoid backtracking. The one who would be upset with me would be the king himself. I will say that I was working closely with our current king of Miorma back when he was prince, and I worked there for roughly a year. I specifically gave him a bit of help with divination, though while I was there, the dean of divination at the college, Professor Johan, was slightly less than pleased with me. But now that I'm working at the college, we have somewhat sorted out our differences, so it's fine. Though I do often work through his co-teacher, Gren, who is a fine fellow, a bit serious, but he does good work. I would like that small fox. It is not here anymore. Professor Johan. Allow me to get on this platform where hopefully no one will harm me. And I can show you, Professor Johan. You are packing up. Talk to you later. I hope your day at work was well and that you enjoy your food, wildflowers. Here is a picture of Professor Johan, and since I mentioned him, here is... Oh, they are stuck together. Professor Gren. They are both teachers of divination at the college. Professor Johann is a quite, long-lived high elf. They are not AI generated. I can assure you that. Nothing on this stream will be. Professor Johann is a very experienced divination wizard, who is quite prone to worrying about every little thing, as can happen when you have access to knowing every little thing. We haven't worked together too much, as I said, I normally do my work with his co-teacher, Gren, but he is a talented professor. I mean, Professor Johann has a bit of a hunch, but that often comes with age. Okay, no! Well, I captured them and that's all that matters. Let us simply jump past them. Very good. Oh, a cutscene. Perfect timing. It is this mysterious fellow named Tablet.
Hello, we meet again. I really cannot stand that type of reaction.
What do you want?
Please. You were late, so I was getting worried about you.
Look, there's really no need for that.
I really could care less what you think.
Jeez, you sure are selfish.
Are you in any position to make such a comment? Anyway, since I came all this way, I guess it is now time for a little game. The rules are simple. If you defeat me, you win. Good luck.
We do have to do it somehow.
I'll just defeat all of them.
I must conjure my fellow faculty somehow, and Hero Forge is a way to do it. Oh wait, Green Spongy. I've never been Green Spongy. Come here. Flatten Stomp. Okay, we are no longer going to be Green Spongy. So that character we encountered just now, Tablet, is a character that has a certain cadence of speaking that is very amusing, and he is very intrigued by our protagonist. He simply showed up soon after we entered the demon's lair and said, basically told us how to progress, and we said, well, why are you saying this? And he goes, I am beginning to like you. And it was good fun, and I am being quite swarmed by creatures, so once I've taken care of them, I will, check in with the legend lore I believe just got redeemed. If all these creatures could please... I think they might be immune to electricity, because that doesn't seem to be doing anything. I assume there will be a save point after this battle, which will be perfect timing. Oh, let us... Good. Oh. Come here. Is there a boss monster? There's not.
That was nothing more than a fluke. Very well, I will figure out something more fun for you to look forward to the next time.
Not that I'll be looking forward to it. Wait, what do you mean next time? Hey!
Bye.
Well, look at the hops on that little lad.
You ended up with.
Oh, brother.
All right. Well, they don't seem to have given me a save point, which doesn't sit quite right with me. I see a legend lore that simply says Gren and nothing else. What is it you would like to know about Professor Gren? Well, greetings, Astolfo. I would prefer Professor. Is this still hooked to the Professor? Why are these hooked together? Oh, I've figured it out. Cross, what is it you would like to know about Professor Gren? I can tell you that he teaches the more introductory courses to divination, and he also does... Why is this door shut? Have uniform colors, white and gold. The schools tend to color code among themselves, so divination is gold or yellow. Professor Mifra here is wearing purple for illusion. Professor Victor is wearing pink for enchantment. Professor Elaine is wearing blue for abjuration. Professor Desmond is wearing black for necromancy. Professor Alta is wearing green for transmutation. And, well, no one is wearing hats. You know, now that you say it, I guess we are rather lacking in headwear, are we? I will bring that up to the faculty. I'm not wearing one either. Our professor of evocation would normally wear red, but the headmaster of our college is a bit on the colorful side. These professors are not fairies. They have been working at Vemay Teldt for a long time. Knight Bergamo, I am using Knight Gardenia's channel, but my name is Osmo Bergamo, Dean of Conjuration here at Vemay Teldt Academy of the Metaphysical Arts. Gold would look better on Alta. As Professor Bergamot has pointed out, it does not seem like any of them are wearing hats. Miss Fizzle, Alta, Desmond, Elaine, Victor, Mifra, Gren, and Johan. Not one of them. Perhaps I'm just bad at conjuring hats? How does one get into this school? As a teacher or as a student? That reminds me, I need to find a save point because we should be having our final break and then our closing remarks. What are these? Student. Well, that poor creature seems to have fallen to the point of being unrecoverable. I'll simply try to make my way to a save point as quickly as possible. There's not one here this time, and this door is also shut. To apply at the Royal Academy, you must take a placement exam, and then during the exam period, you will either get an acceptance period or you will try again next year. I imagine it's not terribly different than anything done in other universes, though I suppose I don't know. Perhaps I ought to take some classes at, where is it that Professor Bergamont teaches in your universe? Pretty similar, yes. Good, good. Now, did they add a save point to this room? How do I feel about bards? I don't see any reason why I should mind them. We both perform magic in separate ways. There are... Oh my goodness, why did they put a spring here? That is evil. If I can save the game. There are a few professors at the local Bards College I am aware of. There is Professor Sandal, who teaches the College of Lore. And then there is Shine, who has currently taken over the School of Valor, even though they themselves are a glamour bard, I believe. Shine actually helps officiate the local sports games, the transport rights, otherwise known as trans rights, a little sport that's played among the bard and wizard colleges. Shine announces for those games along with Professor Gren, who is stuck. There we go. So the two of them together make quite the amusing pair. A walking jump scare. You know, somehow I feel like Professor Shine would actually be flattered by that. Indeed, he is. I haven't attended too many trans rights games myself, but my understanding is that Professor Gren mostly deals with the facts, the rulings, the play-by-play, and Professor Shine more deals with the energy and jokes. They apparently make a good comedic duo. Well, I don't. My limited interactions with Professor Shine have found them to be very friendly. They are extremely enthusiastic and very flashy, but very friendly. And very, very supportive of their students. And of the battles that they tell tales of or during. I haven't really had any problems with any of the faculty at Vemay Teldt. What I am more likely to have a problem with is these jumps. Yes. Looks you dead in the eyes. And you're a demon. I did not realize you were a demon. Alright, so I did say that we would take our last break after I saved the game, so I think we will perhaps call things here.
Graffiti Kingdom.
We will have one last break, during which, of course, get up, stretch, have a drink, refill your tea if you are out like I am. Have a snack, and in 5 minutes, we will have the the closing remarks of our class today. Once again, if there are any questions that we did not get to during class, you can find me over on Tumblr, where my Ask box is open. And I have been tagging information with Lorgamo, which you could perhaps search. It has been very good having class with all of you today, and, well, thank you all for having me. Oh. There we go! Surprise! Hi, it's me! I would normally be at work right now, but I got off an hour early because I wanted to see what you all thought of my friend! Surprise, indeed! What did you think of the me from the alternate dimension? Or the parallel universe? I'm not a... No, why would I be a teacher? I mean, I see Professor Bergamot here. Hi, Professor! You're shook? Why are you shook? I mean, it's probably hard to tell me and the other Aster alike since we look exactly the same, but this is the Aster from your universe now. The long one in the game. I don't know what that means. Well, what's up? Did you like the alternate me? The one who, instead of waking up in the United States, woke up in the Feywild? With amnesia? You knew what? I mean, I didn't tell her to... I mean, she's me, but she's a different me. I had to, fill her in on a bunch of stuff because she woke up with amnesia. Knight Gardenia, you'll need to sit down for this. This model can't sit. I could lower it. Do you want me to lower the model so it looks like I'm sitting? I mean, there's not that many chairs in the garden because the grass is so soft, but... Though it's not great with white pants. The grass stains are pretty rough. Professor was nice and answered many a question. Professor Bergamot was answering questions on my stream? You burned all my chairs! Wildflowers, I think we need some, steel chairs. Whomever you expected to be here, you sound like you expected it to be an alternate... Yeah, it was the alternate version of me that woke up in the Feywild. I met her when... I was trying to go visit Cross, and I instead wound up in an alternate dimension, and I found myself. And then we talked a bunch, because she didn't remember who she was, and I know who I am, so I told her my life story, basically, and I also told her about your classes, because that's, how I got there. And then the two of us worked together to get me back here. And then I visited her a few more times, and we got the Clairsperience thing set up, and yeah. And you gave her a replica. Yeah, I figured because we both looked the same, it would be easier to tell us apart if I had that alternate outfit, the one that has your colors, so I left it to her so that people could tell us apart. Was she wearing it? That's awesome! I hope you guys had fun. I was very excited for her. I gave her a lot of advice about debuting as a VTuber, and yeah. This person seems to have been somewhat different. What do you mean? You wanted a duel and got none, big sad. Oh, I sustained quite a bit of damage in our duel, which even then was hypothetical in a different universe where I obtained your powers, Rev. So, I mean, she is from a different universe, but I don't think it's the one where she has your powers. Have you ever done a push-up? Not... I'm the regular Aster, Ninja Cat Muffin. This is the one that does push-ups all the time. The professor acted like a professor. You missed the twink already? I don't know what that means. I mean, Professor Bergamot is always acting like a professor. Professor, did you, take over my stream? A lot of people are talking about you, it sounds like. This alternate tells us that you were, to her knowledge, still asleep. No, she wasn't still asleep. I met her. Might have eaten too many ores. Like Oreos? Did you typo Oreos? I missed the stream because I was in work up until, like, just now. Some gay candy rocks. Licked the mineral. It sounds like you guys had a wild stream. Though I'm still confused exactly what happened. But, like, I'm sure she told you a bunch of stuff, and I might post more about it. I've been using the lore hashtag alternate roots because, like, my regular lore tag is Aster's roots, so alternate roots. They called themselves Osmo Bergamo? Claimed to be a professor at a very similar school, and they looked like you. Osmo seemed nice, very professor-like. I mean, you know, back in September, Professor, remember when you were raiding into Ashling VT and she was trying to shout you out, but she kept typoing your name and it was like Osmo Bergamo? That was really funny. That was very funny. I bet no one remembers that, though, because that's been like half a year ago. Though I did meet the other me really shortly after that, actually. You weren't here long enough to watch it all, mostly just the end, but the other universe me was very neat. I'm glad you think so. I think she's pretty neat, too. I did have to miss, some streams a few times this year because I was hanging out with her studying, well, first it was studying how to get me back here, but then I went and visited her on purpose because it's pretty cool to meet a version of me that woke up in the Feywild. And she was just excited about learning more about Conjuration as I was. It was pretty cool. She knew a lot about magic. Maybe because she didn't remember being a knight? Though she did work for... She told me that she had, done some work for the Prince of Miorma, which... I also worked for the Prince, so, like, even when she couldn't remember before, she still kind of ended up along the same paths. I think that's awesome. Yeah! Perhaps the next time you go visit her, you should bring one of us along with you? I mean, I don't see why she'd mind. More friends, more fun! Professor Bergamot, you totally have been to other alternate universes, because we know Bard you. So yeah, you had some experience with this before. I kind of stumbled into it on accident, but, you know, it worked out pretty cool. I mean, yeah. Can you make the Rainbow Rock a main character? I don't know who the Rainbow Rock is, so I'll have to check with other me about that. Maybe? You have, in fact. You've met plenty of yourself, including, as it seems, today? No, you didn't. There weren't any alternate... Wait. There's no way that other me managed to conjure you and visit Void. Because if she did that without me, I'd be so pissed. The Prince, now King of Miorma, seems like an interesting person to investigate. I don't know that much about him, because, you know, he doesn't exist in my universe, and he's not the prince or the king that I served. I don't know all that much about Miorma, but other me has told me a bit about it, and it's... You know, I didn't know what happened to Viatorum after it was taken over because I was asleep until, you know, long after it all went down, so... She doesn't know that much either about it, but she's looked up some stuff for me, which is pretty cool. Do not summon Void, especially not on my own, but friendship bracelet! Now, the other me not only beat you, but also got a job and some good sleep. alternate Sephia's living the good life, it sounds like. And yeah, you know, Dagger Gun, I want to hear about Rainbow Rock people too, because I don't know what's up with that. Let me look at, no, but, I see in the rewards queue, there's a teleportation circle for wildflowers. So we can go visit wildflowers. I bet she's still fishing. And, there's a legend lore about how the military functions. I guess this must be one of the Redeem's Other Me setup, and I mean, Other Me probably would know about military stuff, because she spent a while kind of trying to retrace her roots by working as a knight for quite a while. She even had a Pierre just like I do. Isn't that awesome? That's so awesome. I love that Pierre is like a constant for me across universes. Yeah, my baby. So yeah, I don't know how military functions in Miorma. A shame she didn't get a chance to answer that before she left. I mean, sometime maybe I could talk about the military in Viatorum. I almost did that as the military band, and then, you know, it would have been just as hard as joining with you know, as proper military, but I wouldn't have gotten a sword. Well, in any case, you are very happy to meet this altar and very pleased to see them again next time you visit the summer court. I mean, yeah, she's normally in the Feywild when I come visit, so I don't know exactly what court it was, because I don't know that much about the Feywild. I should probably study up, huh? It might have been the summer court. You seem pretty sure, and you know your planes, so it probably was. All I know is that, the other me, which is really cool. And I wanted to show you guys, because, like, that's neat. But let's see. I'm gonna double check I didn't miss anything in chat. Hi, Lilith! It's me now! Okay, I'm going to check if Wildflowers is fishing yet, because I mean, I know I just got here, but I did just get off of work, and technically I should be working for like another hour. I kind of skipped out because I wanted to say hi, and then I'll need to eat food. So, but if Wildflowers isn't ready for a raid, then I mean, you can tell me more about Other Me, and I can. Oh, I should talk about this week, since I had the big birthday party on Friday, and then I'm technically streaming today. I might not stream tomorrow because I need to do my taxes. I was sort of really excited setting up this stream with Other Me and the birthday stream, that I kind of put some other stuff off for a bit. Like, I'm working on a cool stream with Lilith, actually, that now that I have less going on, we need to finally find a date for. Pay taxes with the Rainbow Rock. I don't have the Rainbow Rock, and I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in the United States, so they won't take that, because they're cowards. But yeah, we're gonna raid Wildflowers. I hope you all enjoyed Other Me, and who knows, maybe we'll see Other Me again. My, yeah. Or, what's that? But, my 2-year streaming anniversary is in 2 months. So maybe I can do something with Other Me then. I don't know. I haven't planned that far because I was too busy planning all this. But, thanks for coming by. I hope you had fun meeting Other Me. And, may your efforts ever bring you glory. And not nighty-night because it's only 3 p.m. But bye!